I grow muscle literally 3 times faster than most people. Now, right now I look super small. One, because it's October and it's super cold out, so everything's shriveled up. Two, I don't have a pump. Three, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, so you can't really see anything. But I'll put on some images up here. This is what my physique actually looks like. But I've been able to gain muscle really, really, really fast recently. 3 times faster than anyone else. The people I knew who started lifting when I was lifting, and I don't have any extraordinary genetics, by the way. The people who started lifting when I was lifting, I've basically surpassed all of them. And they lift hard, they're all disciplined, they all work super hard in the gym, but I don't really work that hard in the gym. And I just work out for 30 to 45 minutes at a time, and I still am able to add on more muscle, able to basically outlift all of them. The way I did this is simple. I use steroids. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't use steroids. It's the correct training system. It's called periodization. And yeah, the steroid thing was a complete joke. I don't use any substances. I don't recommend using substances, even peptides. Like the most you should go is creatine. But the way I do it is because I understand periodization. A lot of people don't understand that all the fitness advice and content online is not meant to actually help an intermediate lifter, like many of the people watching and myself. I was basically stuck in a plateau for 2 years and I just felt brain fog. I looked down at my body and it just wasn't improving. I looked down, my arm was the same size. I got horrible body dysmorphia. I just wasn't able to put on any size. I was stuck in that state for 2 years in a horrible plateau. And then I learned about periodization. I was very curious why I wasn't building muscle. So I went online and I got a certificate. I studied exercise science and I got a certification from the NASM, which is basically like this bodybuilding organization, or not bodybuilding, certified personal trainer organization. And I got my certified personal trainer certificate from that. And I learned crazy things. I learned about periodization. I'll explain exactly what periodization is in this video. But it absolutely transformed me. I started doing periodization. I started training in training cycles. Again, not steroid cycles. That was a joke. But I started training in training cycles, which are basically you switch up the exercises, you switch up everything every 6 weeks. That's what you're supposed to do. And I started doing that, and my muscle gained rapidly. Every single time I went to the gym, I was stronger. I could visibly see. You know how hard it is to like visibly see improvement every single time, especially when you spend so much time looking at yourself shirtless all the time, right? You don't really notice that much difference, but I was seeing visible improvements every single time I looked at myself in the mirror, and it was absolutely insane. So I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how to do that. So periodization is basically when you're actually running a proper training program. You're not just doing push-pull legs 6 days a week, the same exercises over and over and over and over again. Because the thing is, you start to plateau very quickly. In your first year of lifting, your body is so unused to the novel stimulus of training. It's never lifted before, that your nervous system goes into full adaptation mode. When it goes into adaptation mode, you're putting on muscle very, very quickly. But once your body actually gets used to that stimulus and you become an intermediate lifter, not a beginner lifter, you're off of newbie gains, your nervous system is now, first, it's way stronger at detecting new stimulus. So once you start doing some new training or something, like a new split, you start an arm split, it's going to get used to that very quickly. Because it's not as big of a stimulus as it was when you first started lifting. It's a new stimulus, and it's way less than the magnitude of the stimulus of never lifting a barbell before to actually lifting it. So what happens is your body actually starts getting used to stimulus very quickly. And this is actually around 6 weeks. There's something called the general adaptation syndrome. And this is just esoteric knowledge. Not really many people know about this, but there's a scientific model that explains how your nervous system gets used to stuff. It's called the general adaptation syndrome. And once you understand it, you'll see that every 6 weeks, your body actually starts adapting to stimulus. This is especially prevalent for intermediate lifters. This is what I do. Every 6 weeks, what I do is I change up my training program, because otherwise it just gets very easy to plateau. Everyone tells you, oh yeah, your training goes like this, right? Like a plateau. That's how normal training's supposed to be. And think about it. That's what it is for most people who just follow beginner lifter advice. Because the normal advice, do 10 sets a week per muscle group, do push-pull legs, rest 2 to 3 minutes. This stuff works for beginners, and the majority of people in the fitness community are beginners, the ones who want to get into the gym and everything. That's why all these influencers are making videos about it, because it gets them the most views. They just want views. I don't do that. I don't do fitness influencing. I do coaching, which is different. I want to genuinely help you. So what I'll tell you guys is, when you get to an intermediate stage, You need to actually change up the training variables. If you look at a lot of these influencers, they're not actually practicing what they preach. They don't practice what they preach. They don't train with push-pull legs 6 days a week. They don't do 2 to 3 minute rest times. A lot of them don't. A lot of them train actually very differently. This may surprise you. You can go and search it right now. What is the best rest time for hypertrophy? It's not 2 minutes. It's not 3 minutes. They'll always tell you it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's not. Search it up right now on Google. It's gonna say 60 to 90 seconds or 30 to 90 seconds. If you actually want to build a lot of muscle, you can actually work out with less rest. I mean, you can work out minimally. Search up what's the best volume to grow a muscle as an intermediate lifter. It's not gonna say 10 sets a week per muscle group. It's gonna say 15 to 20. You need to increase the volume. These are all just facts. These are all studies. People have done these studies, but you don't understand it. You don't understand why. You don't understand how to do it, and you don't understand why we do it, because all you hear is this echo chamber of these fitness influencers telling you guys beginner advice. So what I did was I started changing up my stimulus every 6 weeks. I started resting less, and I started doing more volume. And guess what? Everything exploded. Literally everything exploded. I'll show you. My 3-month transformation is absolutely insane. I've added literally 15 pounds of muscle, and no, I have not gained any fat. I have not gained fat at all. In fact, I've lost quite a bit of fat since then. Now I'm still on a cut, and I'm trying to lose more, but I've gained 15 pounds of mass. That's insane, right? And considering I lost fat, it could be even more. So once you actually use the correct systems and the correct way of training, you have no clue what your potential actually is. This is why I urge you to actually do your own research. Find out like Ronnie Coleman, Arnold, all these people, they didn't do just standard push-pull legs. And once you get rid of all these standard push-pull leg advice, all this stuff, I don't want to shit on push-pull legs too much. Push-pull legs is totally fine. You can totally do that. I do push-pull legs sometimes, but the point is, don't do anything for an extended period of time, because the whole goal is to actually cause your body to adapt. How is it going to adapt if you're just doing the same thing over and over, right? There's this quote, I'm not going to quote it exactly, but only a crazy person does the same thing over and over and expects to see new results. That's literally you. You're probably feeling brain fog. You're probably not seeing any growth. You're probably stuck on the same weight you were for 3 weeks or 1 week. You should be going up every single time you go to the gym. You should be going up 1 to 2 reps, or just going up in weights. I do that. Literally, I'll tell you, my last training cycle, I started doing, I never really train abs, but I started training abs the last training cycle, and I went from doing cable crunches for 50 pounds, 57 pounds I think, to doing 115 pounds cable crunches. It's 6 week span. I almost doubled it. Right? That's genuinely insane. And I know I'm just some guy on the internet telling you this stuff, but I actually have. This has changed my life. This has changed the life of all of my friends. If you had to research this on your own and look into any of it, just look into the general adaptation syndrome, and then just search up what the correct times are for hypertrophy. If you want to gain muscle, do your own independent research. Seriously, because this actually helped me gain so much muscle, and I gained muscle 3 times faster than anyone else I know. I've out-muscled, I guess is the term for it, everyone that started lifting at the same time as me. So I hope this was a helpful video, but the whole fitness industry is trying to lie to you, and they're trying to take your money, trying to take your time and attention, and just sell you lies. And I'm actually trying to help. If you want to work more closely and you're interested in learning exactly what I'm talking about, in the description there's a link. Go ahead and book a call, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the coaching program. But otherwise, I really hope you took this information and you can actually apply it and learn how to train properly.